Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco and Moon are here, and we will be continuing Women of Zal. Last week, just to give you a very brief recap, I didn't go for too long since my voice, but we just finished up Noxia's route, which kind of just came to her realizing that she didn't really need to have an answer right away, and that it's okay to sort of just take things as it goes. If she ends up with someone, then she ends up with someone. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And that she was sort of really tripping herself up, like trying to find like a singular answer to her question. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. And then, yeah, we were about to do another test with Artemis, but I wanted to stop there since, you know, we usually get some pretty juicy lore stuff, so I didn't want you to miss out on that.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm eating my dinner.
Ooh, what do you got?
Just ramen. The other cup thing that I tried, unfortunately the udon noodles, they tasted like the plastic packaging they had been in, so I just ditched it.
Ooh.
It happens. Especially with noodles like that, they can pick up tastes like that pretty easy.
What, like, brand were they?
It was a Korean, like short, you know, instant-y type noodle. It wasn't like something that has a lot of brand presence in American stores. It was something I just picked up randomly.
Gotcha. What is your favorite sort of, you know, pre-packaged, ramen? You have one?
What is it called? It's a Nissan brand, I believe. Let me see. So, like, I used to swear by the OG Maruchan, like, chicken, because that used to taste really great, but, all of a sudden, they made the noodles sweet out of nowhere. And I have no idea why. So, like, I had to go and find a different one, and this one pretty much tastes very similar to it. It's oh no, it's Sapporo Ichiban's brand of instant noodle. Oh, I have a picture.
I think I've seen them. They're a thinner type of noodle, right?
Yeah, they're a bit thinner than the
Yes.
the Maruchan ones. I was surprised how thick like Samyang brand noodles are, like the bulldog noodles from Korea. Those ones are like twice the thickness of the Maruchan noodles. Super filling. Big old fucking block of noodles. I got the Alfredo spicy noodles to try. And they're good, but blow my face off hot still. The spice level on those is really
yeah,
more
I've
than I ever
heard.
bargained for every single time. Like, and I used to be able to take that like the spice level when I was like a couple years younger, but suddenly my spice tolerance went in the dirt. It was really weird. Suddenly things were just affecting my tongue way worse, so it's like, holy shit, this is really warm. But yeah, the Sapporo Ichiban brand of noodles is really good. I get that basic chicken one is the one I usually keep around the house. But they've also got a shio ramen, which is salt ramen. They've got a tonkatsu ramen, which is the pork bone broth type. They simulate that pretty well. I think the other ones I've had, they have like side ones that are like pan-fried noodle types. Like there's one with broad bean paste, which is a type of black bean sauce, and then there's a yakisoba one that's spicy. That's really good. I was eating for a while. I forget It's just got like a chicken, a phoenix on the front. My brain's like, yeah, because you're looking at the chicken flavored soup packet. You say chicken, right? No.
I mean, well, Phoenix is
Big
close
flaming
enough.
chicken.
It's just a
Yeah.
giant flaming chicken, already
Yeah.
cooked for you.
Yeah. But yeah, those are pretty tasty. It's kind of a sweeter hot than some of the bulldog noodles are. There's so much stuff like packaged ramen wise that I'd like to try. Like I really want to try Indomie noodles because like that's supposedly like one of the most peak like for flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's if it's the Philippines or in like literally Indonesia, but that made that noodle type. But it's apparently like one of the most popular noodle brands for that.
I've heard them, but I've never seen them in store.
I haven't either. I'd love to try it. I'd have to probably go to the Chinese grocery store a couple towns over to get them. They carry like 100 different types of noodles there.
Nice. You know, one Asian food I've wanted to try for quite literally years, and I've never gotten a chance to. Really want to try okonomiyaki.
Oh yeah, that was what we were chasing that one time.
Yeah.
Someday.
And there
Honestly,
was that one place that said they made it, but we were all kind of like, we're
dying.
tired.
Yeah.
Next time.
Honestly, being on the West Coast is probably the best place you're going to like be able to go and get stuff like that.
Yeah, certainly not Podunk, my city.
Well, yeah. You guys have at least in your state, I think it was, what was it that I was watching? Toward New York, there's more like, it's a fucking country. There was African dishes that this one girl was doing. I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking awesome. I'd love to try so much different food. The world is so fucking full of tasty things to eat.
Mm-hmm. Food tour someday.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's roll on over to the game.
Time for Artemis.
Alrighty. You recall a certain person you want to spend time with. Artemis. How are you holding up, Jenna? Oh, hello, Artemis. I'm as alright as ever, I think. Good, good. And yes, I did end up checking on that woman from the church. Ah, good. She's still in existence. I mean, I figured, but it's always reassuring to clear all doubt. Of course, and she seemed none the wiser. I'm up for more diving into my visions, but I do need to ask. Ah, yes. You must be curious how I know the woman. Well, I suppose you are one to keep a secret. In case you missed or forgot it, her name is Angelica, part of the group of rebels. I surmise she is their leader, or at least acting spearhead. I'm unsure of how she knew of my existence. She approached me with an invitation. A lot of important information all at once. Did you accept? I was tempted. Still am, actually. But there are, of course, concerns I have with the group. Namely, how much strife am I willing to cause for my freedom? It's so easy to say however much it takes. But truth of the matter is, such a broad stroke claim is but a blotch on a canvas of details. Children, innocent children, were taken from the homes. Their fathers and mothers, siblings and ways of life, and to what end? And the recent attacks on the castle only make the group seem less and less ideal. Would aligning myself with such a fringe group be of any use to me in the long term? Thoughts like that keep me from joining their ranks. But do trust I do have schemes of my own brewing. Ones that will hopefully allow men to see a new day. A truly new day in Zal. That sounds like a plan I want to be a part of. Oh, but you are. However, please trust I will reveal all of my ploys to you in due time. For now, I want to see how safe these expeditions are. I want no harm to befall you after all. Are you ready to go? An adventurous schemer if I ever met one. He's adorable too, adorable shit, I think I like him. Well, let's see what ride he takes us on now.
Gay.
What do you think?
Shrug emoji. I'm like, do we need to romance him, or
No.
okay, then doesn't really feel like the moment, but
You quickly cleaned up your desk and set off for the library. Are you ready? Bring on the next oddity. In a blink, the two of you were seeing so many visuals and sounds. Too many. It became almost unbearable until Artemis started talking to himself in disbelief about something. Whatever he was seeing wasn't visible to you, though you had the feeling you'd be able to hear. Romance is never a oh. Eh.
oh my god.
Uh, Oof, well, that was something to start out on.
That was the cruelest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. You led the listless Artemis to your room. He did nothing to stop you. Oh, you got... No, we were able to hear the voice acting. Did it not come through?
That's odd. I heard it.
Let me just make sure everything on OBS is... it's hard to tell with no sound right now. Let's
Yeah.
wait till a moment with. Artemis, what did I expect? How foolish of me to expect anything more than that. My feelings, my love, my pain. None of that matters here in Zal. What a way to be reminded of that, wouldn't you say? Trust me. Oh. Oh yeah, it's not coming.
I wonder why the voice acting is not coming through.
I don't know, it's something with OBS. Because I have, like, literally 2 different channels for the game to be coming through, because sometimes shit just stops working and I don't know why. So I have to create a new one. You spent the rest of your free time comforting Artemis.
Not for sale. I'm afraid not. I'm just the resident doctor. So do feel free to indulge yourself with any of the brothel boys. A modern tragedy. I've never been with a doctor before, but with you being the only male one I know of.
Leave him alone. Didn't take us the type to try to chat up the men here. Greetings, Lady Zula.
Greetings, Lady Zula?
Yeah, distract.
Yeah. Jenna, I was just wrapping up my conversation with this lovely gentleman. But if you're here, let's talk business, shall we?
On the way to dinner, hopefully.
Sure.
The two of you began walking towards the dining room, Zula's gaze switching back and forth between the paths ahead of you. Yeah, I'm disappointed that it didn't get captured. I'll have to see if maybe I can edit it in. Like, once we're finished with the stream, take it down and just then edit that in so that people watching can hear it. Because that was very good. Like, when he first started making the sobbing noises for a second, I thought that was you, and I was gonna be like, Moon?
Oh my god, no, yeah. That would've been awkward. Just sobbing openly on stream.
It's incredibly easy to just miss someone here. I haven't even met all of the staff yet.
Over 100 members under Zuna's employ. Can't be blamed for missing some. Though it did make interrogations go quite terribly.
Couldn't narrow down to suspects.
Not enough. Several outright told me they have nothing to do with the abductions, but Several more refused to say a thing, not unless brought to court and bribed for their brief answer.
So many?
An inevitable unpleasantness. Everyone knows how high-profile the child abduction case is. Could you imagine the payout if they were brought to court and proved themselves innocent?
A get-rich-quick scheme.
What about you, though? You tell me if you have anything to do with the missing children.
Top one?
I don't think... Yeah, top one.
I categorically have nothing to do with those children.
It's always refreshing to hear someone say it straight out. And for what it's worth, to my knowledge, I have nothing to do with the missing children, either. You'd be surprised how many have refused to give such a simple, swift answer.
Do I know any of them?
Lady Vicia, Zuna, Axe, Marixa, and Artemis. I don't know if you've met the other 40 or so that refused to give a clear answer. Those are the ones that came to mind. We know why Artemis would probably keep mum. No.
Vicia and Lady...
Oh, whoops.
Vicia and
My
Lady
bad.
Zuna? They didn't strike me as people who would want more money.
There's more than one reason someone could refuse to answer. Marixa and Axe are likely driven by greed to some degree, but Artemis, Zuna, and the Grey may have very well been truly offended by the inquiry. That of course assumes all 5 of the aforementioned individuals are in fact innocent. If any of them are guilty, it'll be buried under the several dozen hiding behind the Xenoskins who share their answer. Not to downplay my current misfortunes.
There's more.
There's always more. Apparently, among the group of people who decided to say mum, is an individual who egged them on to do so. Is it Sanamai?
A leader?
Found out after eavesdropping. I never repeated the person's name within earshot. They're high on my list of suspects. As whoever convinced half the staff to stay quiet is definitely shady. And again, the motive behind the silence could be boiled down to either greed or security. If this puppeteer is our culprit, then they're using numbers to mask their identity, doing it well. But if money is what guides their actions, then there is a pact amongst the group at play, or the schemer is hoping we catch them.
Because they'll be brought to court and giving a large sum after being proven innocent.
Wise woman.
You're being very open with a mere apprentice. Zula began eyeing this hallway and sneaking peeks from behind. I appreciate it, but I'm kind of curious why.
Because you're not the one we're after. And if you're not, then hearing your perspective on the various people living here would serve me well in perhaps narrowing down possible culprits. Are a seer, after all.
You stopped walking, prompting Zula to after she took a few more calculated and slow steps that echoed with a bit more significance than before. She turned her head to the right to look at you with one scrutinizing eye.
You're still hungry, are you not? I don't intend to tell anyone about your situation, if that's what you're worried about.
I was... Thanks for telling me that.
Your powers I'm really after. Or rather, the person who is affecting it.
Mara? You think she has something to do with all of this? You resumed walking, with Zula joining you once you caught up with her.
Who's to say? Just want to keep my options open, and a woman with an unnatural gift in most unusual situation begs my attention. Claire and I are trying to find some workarounds so you seers can retain more of your visions upon waking up. When we come up with something, I'll find you.
You want my visions to help you find out who's responsible for all this.
Or even where to look. As far as I know, this whole garden business is a waste of time. Your cooperation is most appreciated. Well then, this was a productive chat. We'll see each other again. Jenna of Jaliel.
Carry woman.
Mm-hmm.
With more than enough thoughts on your mind, you ate your barbecue ribs and went to bed for the cycle. Jeez, what a cycle. You had dreams of that cave again. This time you heard a gurgling, low growl from the hidden depths, with a dragging sound gradually approaching you. It sounded like it could emerge into sight at any time when... These dreams...
Hold on, I gotta stuff my face full of noodles real quick. Hey there, Jenna. Did you still want to have that meal? Of course. I was hoping. I'll wait outside your office.
You put your papers away and left the office, meeting Joy in the hallway. Where to?
Johnny's Grill. I'm sort of starving. Comes out.
Congratulations.
Damn, he really did that. He did that for all of us, even.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Unlike Zuna, Joy was perfectly content with a traditional Zulian meal, Vibi and Huri. It was just as healthy as it sounded.
What did you order, Jenna?
Oh, you know, pizza.
This is like all you eat, girl. Though you did have barbecue ribs last night, so I can't blame you. Quite taken with that, aren't you?
It's relentlessly good.
Mm-hmm. I maybe order my own slice on the way out. I've been curious about it.
Did I ever tell you that when I was super little and like, you know, we came to the United States and for the longest time I didn't like pizza and I would only eat the crusts.
No way, that's so cute.
So like my family would get pizza and they'd just save the crust for me. And, and so to this day I still eat pizza backwards. I'll eat the crust first.
Too much tomato for you.
And that's the part I like the most. I don't know why I didn't like it.
Well, that's like what my mom told me about me as a tiny child. So I've always loved broccoli, and when she told me that, I went through a situation at one point when I was really small where I would only eat the tops of the broccoli and not the stem. And then the opposite happened where suddenly I would only eat the stem and not the tops. So like... And then it just finally I ate the whole broccoli, but it's like, what prompted that? Mm-hmm.
You'll absolutely love it. I've been curious about you, actually. Like, what are your goals outside of Zuna, I mean? Oh, definitely that second one.
Yeah. Huh. Fair question. Where to start? The plan is to, of course, find the cure for Zuna. That's the priority and what takes almost all of my free time. But after, help push for a medical school, one that men can attend and prove that I was no mere exception to the rule. I think if we can show the world we're valuable in such esteemed fields, we can change minds and lives, prove Zal without resorting to violence and schemes. I know it sounds a bit far-fetched, but with Zuna by my side, I feel there's nothing we can't achieve together. Oh,
What a badass goal. That's a goal I'd help with. The opposition will be fierce.
um,
Middle?
yeah, middle. That's what I'm feeling too. I'd appreciate any help I could get. It seemed to be a daunting journey. That said, I'm quite determined. Who knows? Maybe it'll open the path to other men with other crafts to pursue with their own certifications. Maybe even a chef.
Yo. You again. I did say this was my favorite place. But don't worry, I'm not actually here for you. I wanted to talk to Dr. Joy.
Wait for Joy to respond. How important is it?
Quite. Relax. I just want to talk to Dr. Joy. It's important. Joy looked at you and seemed to want to sigh, though he stood up silently.
I'll be right back, Jenna.
Yeah. You waited just under 3 minutes before Joy returned.
I'm truly sorry about that.
What was that all about? Joy took his seat as he spoke the words.
Family nonsense.
Wait, she's not related to you, is she?
No. A friend of hers happens to be my brother.
The hell?
And you think Zal is a large place, right? Anyway, it seems he's fallen in with an unsavory group of extremists. Kind who can't wait for Zal to change peacefully. And has always been like this. Always thinking blood was the only way to send a message to those that would oppress men, ignoring the pain it would bring.
Hmm.
Of course he'd align himself with terrorists.
Was that woman among them?
Can't say for sure. She hasn't said one way or the other. And other than threatening you ladies with the fall of society, she hasn't done much of anything else.
How did she know about your brother's affiliation then?
Fair question. I wonder what her true motives are, if not terrorism or peace.
It is a bit odd. You haven't seen or heard any relevant violent activities. Well, other than the incident in Nojuk, which I think is where we heard that name?
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, we did see him.
Mm-hmm. But how would it all play out if this was all connected?
Hey, don't stress yourself over it. There's not really anything you or I can do about it except, well, not let them get to us.
Actually, that website that Kuru recently linked, Raid 1, which is that website where you can sort of have, your catalog of video games that you've played, that you plan to, that you're currently, and they allow you to sort of, you can pick a background from whatever game you happen to be playing right now, and for Women of Zal, it gave me that image that we see of them, and I assume Vincent is the one with the umbrella. So that's my background there.
Oh. Huh. I thought that was a younger person.
Yeah, that's why I was a little hesitant at first. But
Yeah, because I think I presumed that it was the man that was with Tanae in the cutscene we had here. I
Oh.
forget how it took place. But it could be. Like, we don't really have context.
Yeah, I know I think you're right. You're right. I had thought we had heard the name when we had the vision in Nojuk.
I think
But
we
maybe
did hear the name there.
confusing parts.
I mean, if he's in with the extremist group, it would stand to reason his name showed up there.
Mm-hmm.
I said this line.
Your pizza and Joe's pile of health arrived and pile of health.
Yeah.
Arrived and was placed in front of the two of you. You're right. I'll just enjoy my pizza and the good company.
That's the spirit. It's a fine alternative to wallowing over the bad in life. I can't imagine how Zuna and I would be if we kept thinking about how close she was to death.
Joy?
Sorry, I said too much. Far too much.
Alright, thank you for clarifying.
Let's just eat for a bit. Not looking forward to telling Zuna, but I just did.
Alright. You feel that anything you ask, any support you offer would get lost in whatever it was that made Joy freeze up. The remaining duration of the lunch is finished in silence, and you two part ways with a brief goodbye once back in the castle lobby.
It's bullshit! It can't be helped. Only would she ignore my request to not come to Zenoska, but your training will still not resume, correct? No, that doesn't mean you should let Yexa on your island.
She's coming!
She's coming! I am allowing nothing. During her military days, she was arguably the most prominent soldier to have ever lived. Most certainly the most powerful. Simply put, attempting to bar her from entry would be unwise at best, and an empty gesture of attempting to stop her. Worse. What's your history with the Grey? It is, after all, thanks to you and your training that she wished to visit in the first place. My history? She's the biggest asshole this side of Zal. Sure, she might make those glass statues you call apprentices become stronger, but it ain't worth it. My job is to prepare them for the road ahead. If I cannot prevent Lady Yexa from coming, then I have no reason to turn down her offer to train the girls. Feel free to try and stop the Grey from entering the castle if you think all you need to do is tell her no. You'll see that such pragmatism has a cost soon enough, Zuna.
Zuna's gaze jolted to yours the moment it was clear Yaxada was done talking.
Not too many dreams from now. Joy will be teaching some of the humans visiting Zenoska some basics about our world. You're welcome to listen in if you fancy. We'll be at the university every other minor cycle.
Training and learning, eh? I wonder if we'll have exams again. You went to grab dinner, which happened to be tacos. It seemed everyone was getting spoiled by Earth's many dishes, and that one in particular had you ready for bed before you knew it.
Ate 17 tacos, promptly died.
She had to roll herself out of the dining room.
Yes, exactly.
Here's to plenty of rest. After falling asleep, you had a dream of Xeris hiding himself in his room to privately cry. Aww.
Man!
I want a cute dream for once. Just a nice, normal, cute dream. Zuna walks over to the front of her desk and leans on its edge after turning to face you, her hands flat on her legs.
Jenna. Been giving it a bit of thought.
Hmm?
My mother's last moments with me. What it meant for me. What it meant for her. By talking to you about it, listening to what you said, seeing how you reacted, I realized something. Frustrated with how my mother left me. I'm so inconsolably frustrated by her. Infuriating, knowing I'll never be able to put her in her place. I have no target for all of this anger. I was never good enough for her. But it's because of those feelings that I can confidently say that I am more than she could have more than she could ever dream to be. This is a good song. For the time I have left in the sky, I will walk forward and seldom look back. But this is my thanks to you, Jenna of Jaliel.
You're welcome, Zuna Zalvant of Zanaska. What will you do going forward, after you step down from the seat?
Truth be told, I'll likely take all of my lovers and fuck off somewhere. Island not too far from here.
Getting away from all of this sounds like a great idea. Zuna nods.
There's plenty of life left in me, and I don't want to squander it with petty politics and aggressive progressives. Ah, this is the second time you've heard that phrase, isn't it? It's just a bit of a failsafe I made for seers to reference. In case I underestimated the likes of that liberal from the restaurant and needed a seer to warn me. Doubt it'll work against Mara's spell, but there is no harm in trying.
Are you a bit distant from your mic? Because sometimes it's like you get a little muffled.
It might just be because there's stuff in front of me because I was eating.
Oh, okay.
But enough of such trifles. I'd rather spend my time indulging in every desire I can. That is why I must ask you. Are we to be lovers going forward? Yeah, I was, folks' fingers together.
Yes, I was doing that gesture too. I was hoping one of us would ask.
It seems I beat you to the punch.
Seems to be a habit of yours.
I will not deny its benefits. I will not deny how important you are becoming to me. Bam! There's no doubt my troubles are more than you could ever have expected, but you stayed by my side all the same. All that I am, I thank you for standing by my side.
And I always will, Zuna. And thank you for giving me the chance to understand you better. Just don't ever leave mine.
How gay do we want to be, chat?
As gay as possible, always, all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Go on, be gay.
I mean, to be honest, I'm just not sure which is gayer. This is pretty gay to me.
Yeah,
I really like this one.
Yeah, that one is really good, actually. It's only fair if I request more of your time. I know you didn't like what happened, what I did to Valimir. But at least understanding why I did what I did means a lot. I still don't really understand why you did it.
It's tough being in your position. I underestimated how deep it all goes. And although I'm not sure I could ever do the same, I'm all the wiser for it. I can square go forward and plan ahead, paving a road where I will never be forced to hurt victims to protect them. I guess, going off that line, I imagine part of the reason was that if she just let him go scot-free, then other people might feel like they could take his punishment into their own hands and do something much worse.
Yeah, that's fair. The social politics and folkways are really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we can do. Oh, the Valimir thing shouldn't have come up in the run at all.
Oh. Oops.
Well, we're using context clues. And I hope you are a better person than I could ever dream to be. You're comfortable to be around. Don't ever change that about yourself. That's gay. An irreversible bond has been forged between you and Zuno. Holy shit.
Zuno will now take a fatal blow for you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Despite the initial impression she left, you know she is so much more than the cold gaze that greeted you when you first moved into the castle. Speaking with her now feels as natural as breathing, and no one can take that away from the two of you. You spend the duration of your time together discussing meal plans, annoying politicians, and paperwork before you part ways to continue your day, a huge grin on your face.
Hey, she's here.
Hey, you know what I'm here for.
I'm ready.
This time I was thinking about something that would be good for really young kids. We ought to have some wholesome stuff that encourages kindness and friendship in our girls for once, don't you think? On Earth, I saw for their little girls they have this entertainment franchise that actually revolves around talking creatures, horses or something? So it's all colorful and cute and happy. But instead of horses, let's make them ploofs. Can you imagine talking ploofs with their squeaky and chirpy voices and fuzzy butts? I couldn't stand it. It's too cute.
Do you think the girls in Zoe would take to something like that?
I don't know about you, but however tough or womanly a girl might be, I have yet to see a girl who doesn't crack a smile at the sight of a ploof. I mean, am I wrong?
What would this movie be about, exactly? Like, besides the fact it has talking ploofs.
Well, it could be a world where they solve things with discussion and empathy rather than just whoever's got the most Zala. They look out for each other, they treat everyone equally, and use their powers for things that make the world better, rather than just for their families.
I wonder if the moms of Zaw would let their girls watch something so radical. Lenixa then pondered what kind of characters would be involved in the show. Maybe a ploof that was sort of Eastern, a ploof that was very posh and fancy, a ploof that was shy and quiet. Dinner was Ijhe, something you hadn't had since you first arrived. You felt tired but satisfied, and not too full. Here's to better dreams. Please, dodge just one cute dream.
Ploof dream incoming.
You dreamed of Zuna in a black dress, playing the piano in a quiet, lonely jazz club. She didn't smile, but even with her eyes closed, it looked like she was completely absorbed in the soulful tune she was playing. I wonder why I keep having these weird dreams lately. There you are. What did you want to do today? I wanted to thank you. What you did for me the other cycle. Hey, you know, it's no problem. Yet you would be appalled by how rare it is to be treated with such kindness from a woman. I never imagined one of Lady Zuna's apprentices would be so kind. You're aiming for the seat, not just for power, but for the good of men. Quite frankly, I find such lofty goals optimistic at best, but I seem to have faith in you and your mission. Enough to want to stand by your side and hope for the best. Not in violence or rebellion, but through peaceful diplomacy. You're turning down Angelica's offer? I am. Though if we're met with one too many obstacles, I may have to reconsider my reconsideration. I am, after all, a man with needs, and freedom is at the top of that list. Then count on me. We'll get through this without falling into sin. Again, I have no choice but to trust in your enthusiasm. Remain as you are, my lady. I wouldn't have you any other way.
Oh, tell me more about her. I've always wanted to meet Yexa the Grey. I'm sorry, I've failed to make any southern overtures with her voice, but I can do it today. Yexa Stone isn't someone I could easily discuss. Oh, come on! Don't do me like that! Ugh! At least tell me if she's as strong as the legends say. That's up for debate. Hey! Wait! I want answers, damn it!
It's like I don't exist to these people. I think for the time being, that's probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you reached the dining room, talks of Yexa coming to Zanaska overshadowed any and all conversations. The women were mostly excited, but the men expressed concerns, except for Zobi, who seemed swept up by Yexa's notoriety. You decided to eat the Yuramabu Jubi, meat imported from the Southern Isles, however, cooked for dinner, and head for bed. This became a very Yexa-centric day. I hope things settle down when I wake up.
Apparently, for a little while, my YouTube studio was messed up. Now I can move again instead of just staring into the camera.
Your dreams were all about Yexa Stone. She appeared different in every iteration, and her personality kept ranging from misunderstood to horrifically straightforward. Couldn't even avoid dreaming about the woman. Here's to a normal cycle. Come on in. Axe, probably.
Hey, look at you with the solid guesses. My mom, she's coming to Zanaska. Please advise.
I hope that's a good thing?
Both good and bad. She's chill and all that, but a bit awkward when it comes to my condition, you know? Like, she's some badass soldier who helped Lady Vicia uphold Rama's cave and got the feather to prove it. But figuring out what's wrong with her daughter? Someone with some mental illness that isn't well known? Gotta be tough. When I'm at my lowest, she's always there trying something, anything. But it never helps, and she knows it. But she loves me, so she keeps trying. It's so stressful and makes me feel so shitty. But what can either of us do? I'm sorry, I know that's sort of a loaded question for an already loaded topic. Don't sweat it none, I just needed someone to talk at. Let's hope for the best and all that happy shit.
I mean, I'll do that, but I'll also sweat it?
That's because you're a good person, sweetie.
Per usual, the two of you moved the topic away from the heavier elements and onto more spirited ones until it was time to part ways.
Yo, story time, Jen! I've been thinking, Earthlings, despite the fact that dark-skinned people are considered a minority over there, look and talk pretty much like us, right? I mean, if you took a good-looking human from there and put her next to a decent-looking Zulian, you couldn't honestly tell the difference from a glance. So it'd be a cinch for a Zulian to, like, pretend to be an Earthling and infiltrate Earth without anyone knowing.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
And I just couldn't help it. A movie idea came to mind. A Zulian goes undercover on Earth, maybe to reveal some inter-canvas terrorist scheme, but in the process falls in love with an Earthling who has no idea she's actually from Zal. A woman or a man? Let's say man, mix things up a bit. Maybe even a Zulian killed his mother, and so he has this big grudge against Zulians in general.
Let me guess. The Earthling is actually the terrorist?
Nah, people would expect that. And I kind of really like the idea of people from two different origins coming together and breaking down boundaries and hate and prejudice through the power of love. It's such a classic romance. Oh, but wait, you're right. What if the audience thinks the Earthling is a terrorist, but it turns out he's not? Yeah, then people would be thinking, I know this twist coming, but they'd be wrong. That's perfect, Jenna.
Lennoxa rambled on about how the Zulian woman and the Earthling man would eventually team up to thwart an assassination attempt against a matriarch visiting Earth and declare their love for each other.
I think that was me. I go by chef, not cook. Get it right. That's your official title here. The matriarch allows it, so I'd say. I see. Then chef it is. Wait, that's it? No bullshit about knowing my place? I have no interest in such views. No? Why's that? It doesn't help or hurt anyone in my family, so what use is such a belief to me?
Weird way to go about it.
So she's a centrist. A centrist. Literally a centrist. You sure are different from your daughter. A sentiment oft-told to me.
Claire walked away from Culver with zero interest on her face over the conversation she just left. She took a seat at the table and drank some of the purified Zala resting in front of her. Once Clinice came into the dining room, you figured it was best to eat the nogruba, a meat packed with complimentary veggies, and leave for bed sooner than later. Compared to the last cycle, this one was incredibly chill. Jenna, you jinxed
Let's
it.
cut to nightmares. Oh, okay.
Your phone buzz. The phone buzzing, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Prompting you to read the notification. Oh, hello.
Woo! Okay. Pity about the life-consuming disease. I'd enjoy wearing this publicly.
You went to bed quickly, descending into the world of dreams after, although you remembered none of them. Not remember my dreams is almost as bad as the really bad ones.
Focus on paperwork and not people. Or roll
we
back.
could also, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Zobi boy, I ain't interested.
After a brief inquiry at the docking station, you were able to request an airship to pick you up and take you to Zanaska University's library. The university library was again quiet. The librarian gave you a welcoming glance and a nod.
Hmm.
You picked up something titled The Formation of the Midian Church and began to read. To many of us, it is almost unthinkable to believe... Don't worry,
Sorry,
Zoe Boy
buddy.
is used to it. I'll see what you have to say later. I'm curious where his story goes. Since it pretty much
Yeah.
seems like he's a sycophant, so I'm kind of curious if he changes at all.
Yeah.
To many of us, it is almost unthinkable to believe in a deity other than Daj. Although we know from Daj's own words that other deities can and do exist, those deities have no power over Zal, and seemingly no interest in it either. If they have ever visited Zal, they have not made themselves known. Which is why it is so odd that an entire religion has formed around an unnamed female deity. The history of this religion stretches back at least 600 years. The city island of Damascus, the capital city of Zal's middle region, has been built around a colossal church to the Midian goddess. While there was early speculation that this unnamed female deity was Dodge in another form, those conjectures were quickly debunked. Dodge has presented as a woman on many occasions, during which time she goes by the name Daja. Dodge's mannerisms and personality are never significantly different from Dodge's, and both she and the Midians have clearly stated that she is not the one the Midians worship. It seems illogical to assume that Daja would lie where Dodge would not. The Midians seemed almost as baffled by their goddess as the rest of Zal is. They know nothing about her name, her appearance, her personality, or her powers. They state quite clearly that they are waiting for her appearance, but do not know anything about when she will come forth. Midians are often some of the first to be tested for Zala-related diseases, as new technologies are developed to identify irregularities in the Zulian self. But they consistently receive passing bills of health, indicating that their beliefs are not the result of a Zala-based affliction. The book continues detailing mysterious circumstances surrounding Midian Church and how Midians seem to both delight in confusing other Zulians and to be just as confused themselves. You continue reading for a few hours. You feel more pragmatic.
Okay.
Another uneventful time in the dining room, and the chicken salad did little to add variety. Kind of hoping something more interesting happens after I get some sleep. Kind of not. Another stream of dreams passed by your mind, none of which you remembered. That's twice now. Probably not going to be getting any, maybe Axe? Axe.
Yeah.
Come on in, Axe.
Yo, how are you so good at picking out who's knocking?
I like to pretend my hearing is second only to Lady Vicia's. Anyway, are you feeling better about your mother coming at all?
More or less, I guess. I just had to remind myself that it's not like my relationship with mine is like Clanice and hers. No, I've spoken lots to Lady Claire. Ain't too sure how much of that friction Clanice feels isn't self-inflicted.
I try not to think too hard about that particular subject. Not too often, anyways. When is your mother arriving to Zanaska again?
Oh, right. She's here already. Got a phone from Lady Claire and everything. She should come knocking and... Hey!
Right. Feel free to let me know about things like that at least 5 minutes in advance.
Amazing.
Come on in.
Oh my. Pretty, pretty, pretty lady.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hon. Good to see you. It ain't home, but I'm here.
Hey, Mom, this is Jenna.
Well met, woman from my daughter's letters.
Mom, at least wait a solid 30 seconds past before you go embarrassing me.
Sorry. There's just so few ways to get you to slip into your native accent, sweet bun.
Aw.
That's really cute. I did mean it, though. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jenna of Jaliel.
Likewise, Lady Quinn.
Oshu works well enough. I'm not really big on my feather or title. Reminds me that I've been through too much.
I wish my mother would take a cue from you. She never states it outright, but she definitely pulls the gray card on her own family.
Majuri Jenna is your mother, right? I believe I've met the woman once. Right before Vicia and I toured to Rama.
The story on Rama sounds way more interesting. Mom, she has a lot of love in her, but she's very clearly still healing from her upbringing of grandmother.
Ugh. Your time in the military must have taken its share of the toll, I imagine. Still, every time I tell this story, it just gets people riled up, so brace for that. If anything, it makes for a great cloud breaker. On that note, Visia's mission to hold the cave did not end in failure.
Huh.
Huh.
Wait, the fuck
Same!
Yeah. Huh, I wonder what got her so riled up then.
Both the official report and personal accounts would all attest that Visia completed the mission almost flawlessly. There was a hiccup, nothing more. Truth is, we cleared the area of enemy soldiers well before extraction. But while we were mining resources, Visia went to explore a cove not too far off from where we were stationed. She knew there was no reason to do this. A past seer named Nana Yaga that traveled with us confirmed the cove remained off limits to the enemy, lacked resources, and thus empty. But she decided to venture in anyways. Blind and alone, I might add. I suppose she wasn't a fan of being told what was and wasn't off limits to her. She was taking too long to return, so I went in after her. Nana Yaga was scanning the recent past to check in on Visia from afar, didn't share her visions with us. I hear that such actions are far from unusual for her. I'll admit, right now, that inside the cove felt comfortable. Felt like its entire existence attracted death, and I was its next target. Still, I endured until I found the captain when I stumbled into a catacomb. Her back was turned to me. She was on her legs, but alone.
Catacombs? I thought you said people weren't allowed in there. Was it, like, a place ancient Zulians used or something?
I didn't investigate it long enough to know for sure. The Visia had become an immobile, inconsolable mess, like the fear of Daj had at last struck her. Now, your mom knows very few things, but enough. This place was uncomfortable. Visia was scared. So I took her and left that place as fast as possible. Any investigation that was to be done was halted when the entrance became blocked by some powerful incantation, excuse me. It was either Visia or Nana Yaga who did it, but that's the reason Visia considers it a loss. She wasn't harmed. There was nothing in the cave when I entered, but she was scared. Because of that, she made an addendum to the mission report and told the world it was a failure in her perspective.
Huh. What the fuck?
And you know how politicians are. If they don't like you, they can take a half-truth and weave it for miles. So now the general populace's thoughts reflect Visia's.
What the hell?
Told ya. Hell of a cloudbreaker, ain't it?
Starting to see where Axie gets her love for stories from.
Yeah, but this one cuts into legitimate creepy stories. Lady Visia scared of anything is one thing, but add a creepy real mystery to it? I know it isn't anything like Yaji, ghosts, or Zamuli in horror, but I can't help but wonder what real-life thing could have actually spooked her.
Well, it was a catacomb, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Else to tell in the clouds.
It'd be a fun book title, but I'm sure willing to move on to happier topics. Like, what did Axie say about me in those letters,
Uh-oh.
Jenna, don't encourage her.
There was only one. How is letters allowed to slip past the lie filter?
That's cute.
The teasing didn't last very long, but it sure was fun. You let the Quinns leave together so you could focus back on work. God, the two characters that I gave the same voice to.
Literally also, like, It's almost like every single scene, it's either me and me or you and you, and most of them are you and you. Like,
Yeah. Do you want
there's
to
no
take one of
fucking
them?
vocal cords. Yeah, I'll take Leonixa. You betcha. I'm not an apprentice, boo to that, but I'm totally allowed to stick around. But I'm always busy trying to network with all the potential high-profile investors here. But when I have free time, I'll totally visit your office when I'm not visiting Jenna's.
Seeing you together feels right.
You know what? That makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Axe. Leonixa, this is my girlfriend, in case Axe hasn't already told you.
Oh, you're a lucky one. Jenna's great.
How'd you two meet anyways?
Movie ideas.
Movie ideas. Of course.
Oh, hey, while I have your attention, when do you think the garden will open up again? I want to find a muse for scene.
What's your scene?
It came to me in another dream of mine. Basically, in the 5th movie I make, the garden will have a secret underground facility, but I don't know where it'd be or how it'd work. So I want to get some inspiration from the great garden itself.
Well, good luck getting in. The military is taking the area very seriously. I wouldn't be surprised if even Viscia was kicked out while they're looking into the garden.
Ah, bum deal. Oh well. While I wait, maybe I can get some inspiration from that famous Grey coming in. What was her name again? She's a super strong one? General Zula's mom?
Former General Yexa Stone the Grey. Wait, Lady Yexa and General Zula are related?
I believe we already knew that from
Yeah.
an actual vision we saw, so.
Yeah.
General Yexa Stone the Grey. Oh, right, Yexa! Please don't tell her I forgot her name. I die from embarrassment. Simply die.
I won't tell anyone, jeez.
Oh, thank you.
I've always wanted to spar with her. I've got to see how strong I am compared to a living legend.
I mean, I'll cheer for you, but I fully expect for you to get fucked up. That's a mood.
Meowstinian interaction.
Yes. That is so 1000% them. Oh, look at this. That's 100,000% them.
Hey, me
Holy
too.
shit. Holy shit. Beautiful.
Immaculate.
That's super good.
The three of you walk to the dining room talking about movies starring Yexa doing incredible feats. When you arrived for dinner, you were giving Dragon a unique bread made of solidified clouds and seasoning from both canvases. Upon learning the name of the food, Leonixa wasted no time talking about how foods named after where they were first invented were the best kinds. All the pleasant talking brought about a tired spell, and you ended up heading to bed before everyone else. Geez, I really wanted to keep talking, too. You dreamed of being able to continue talking to your peers without fear of fatigue. Never known that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to really hate my dreams.
Disease is real. Awake, are you?
Yeah, come on in.
You seem a bit more tired than usual. Perhaps more sleep is in order?
No. I would like far less of that these days.
I understand. In that case, might I walk you to the dining room? I have a curiosity I wish to discuss with you.
Sure.
Do you remember that cycle where you gave me the notes for to the revival spell?
I do.
Well, let me be the first to tell you that I am no fan of incantations lacking scientific foundations.
What are you planning? I'm listening.
I'm listening? Well, you know how we're coming up empty on the missing children's case, yes? What if we're thinking too small? What if there's a grand scheme of sorts?
Other than the children's latent powers, what use would they be to anyone? It's not like you can extract their Zala or use it in any way.
I know, but again, to have the means and desire to hide the kids as they have, it almost screams of a greater agenda. So I got to thinking, if the children are connected to the increased hostilities for the status quo, if the rebels are indeed taking the kids for their dormant powers, and if the garden plays a role in it all, then what could make this all work?
Hello, Marco. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
You have come in on the intrigue part of the stream. So, like you, I took some time to do research on all the things unusual, but then the Mara situation hit my desk.
The Mara situation, how do you know about Mara?
Okay, yeah, that question. Oh, I was curious why a seer was so interested in the arcane all of a sudden. I investigated shortly after you gave me that revival spell.
Oh, damn it. You already knew. Everyone knows, Jenna.
Jenna, you're the only one with chronic eepy bitch disease in the entire castle. Well, Zuna probably has it, but Zuna's better at hiding it. It's not really a mystery. However, how Mara might tie into all of this is. Now, if there are unheard of arcane spells that can suppress a seer's visions, then maybe interjecting some of the more unreasonable into this case might help me get closer to some answers. For example, what if the reason the kids are being abducted is because the one in charge is more than a little proficient in the arcane? What if they have the power to extract the untapped Zala and use it for their own means?
Assuming such an important spell exists is reaching.
Agreed. But this could be the same person who could bring alien weather to the island of Nojuk when we were young. This could be the same person who tamed Azragis. Above all, this is the same person who has eluded authorities for over a year now. What if that's because we've been searching for the missing children using traditional means? What if they're hidden using more abstract magic?
I like where you're going with this. Are you filling in the blanks with voodoo? Are you filling in the blanks with voodoo? Mon amour. You're so gorgeous when you're on fire like this.
I like where you're going with this. I'm glad it's making some sort of sense so far. If I approach the mystery from a less conventional approach, I may find the answer yet. It's not ideal, but looking into basic, safe arcane spells may be a good start.
And if you don't find what you're looking for?
I won't. But I will be able to at least understand the mechanics enough to start reverse engineering potential spells that are keeping us from tracking the kids.
It almost sounds easier to find the woman who hurt Velvet at Nojuk.
If only we could find anyone at this point. Even Tanae is still missing.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of come across her twice.
Yeah.
The timing is a little suspect.
Yes, the foresight needed to go into hiding just as a warrant went out for her makes me think a seer is involved. But no seer I know, of course.
Something else for you to reverse engineer. But tell me more about how you plan on using the arcane to track down this grand mage.
Hypothetically, if the garden hides any secrets, it's not going to be found with normal magic and prying eyes. Actually, that's not a hypothesis. It's a theory, if not flat-out fact. What's more likely is that a secret path is locked behind an arcanic wall. So what I want to do is get into the abductor's headspace, figure out where one of their major spells are in effect and how. I find that spot and try to imagine the process, then use my own spells to reverse it down to its base components. where I'll be able to destroy the original incantation.
If you're right about this, this could be big. Have you told Lady Zula or Lady Zuna?
I wanted to, and I almost did. What if I told the wrong person?
Oof, yeah. If you're right and this goes way up the food chain, alerting the culprit could be a swift death sentence.
It terrifies me thinking about it. Justice doesn't enforce itself, so I'll keep going no matter how deep this ends up being. Thanks for taking the time to let me figure this all out outside of my head, by the way. And don't worry, giving myself a few more microcycles of rest before jumping into all of that, so I won't be straying from my usual schedule too much. So I might use some of my free time to train with that Grey, Yexa Stone. I hear she's due to arrive here at the castle this coming microcycle, same time that Dr. Joy's lectures start. And castle life is never dull.
It seemed breakfast was not going to be the only thing you were going to digest.
I have so many tin hat theories.
Go for it.
So, when there was something evil magic in that catacomb, but only for people who have like a certain resonance, and there's Azala, and I believe her name was Nana Yaga.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that person set up Viscia to come in contact with it. Which is why Viscia had such a visceral reaction, but also might have been traumatized and then tainted and opened to this bad vibe kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe empowered her to do sus crap. So to speak, like trying to pursue greater power, and maybe that's why she lost her eyesight.
Well, I think she was already blind, because
No,
didn't
she
the
wasn't
mother
already
say?
blind.
I thought that the mother
Mm-mm.
said something about her being blind.
No, she was supposed to still have her eyesight at the time. I swear that was how it was supposed to be. That when they were on the Cave of Rama mission, she was supposedly blinded during the mission, but
Oh, okay,
the
okay. Yeah.
the when was not clear, and all Hoju said was that Vissy was scared in the cove, in that catacomb, not that she had been blinded there or that she'd been blinded beforehand.
There was just one line. I know blind was mentioned, and I don't know if she just meant that in a more metaphorical sense, but I had assumed that she meant.
I thought it was metaphorical.
Okay.
Scary shit going on in this game.
You want to take this one?
Sure. Just let me take a drink really quick.
Oh, this is the same. Oh, no, wait. This is the formation? Oh, that's...
Yeah, it's the same one. Oh, God. You find a book titled The Science of Men, Physical and Emotional Differences. It looks quite old, at least 80 years, according to the note on the cover. The note also states that the findings in this book have been partially disproven since their publication, and to seek out more recent studies. No one knows why Dodge created men physically inferior to women. Both he and his ladies have remained quiet on the subject, but the difference is significant. The average man is around half as strong as the average woman. This lack of strength places men in a natural state of subservience to women. In addition, even the strongest men seem to have an upper limit on the amount of Zala they can possess, around 1.5 to 2 times the amount of the average woman. Women have no such upper limit, with some military leaders measuring 10, 20, even 50 times the average. If the esteemed Lady Vicia had not refused to be measured, that number may even have been in the hundreds. Not only are men physically inferior to women, but their mental fortitude is also much lower. Every male studied displayed less emotional resilience and more emotional outbursts than their female counterparts when exposed to stress. Blech! The book continues detailing the supposed deficiencies of men. You continue reading for a few hours. You feel smarter, somehow, despite reading the extremely reductive text.
Standing to the side where they stairs was Zula, preoccupied with herself.
It's going to be a long cycle with Mother coming here. You want to shoot the shit?
Sure. You don't sound
Yeah.
excited. She turned her head to face you, not looking too surprised by your presence.
Marco. Thanks, Moon. The cringe was getting to me. No, I suppose not. There's a habit of getting under one's skin in the most frustrating of ways. Better to stay silent and allow you to form your own opinions. Those who served under or beside her tend to think of her more favorably, after all. Oh my. This is around the time you usually eat and go to bed, correct? I'll leave you to it.
After you left the lobby for the dining room, you tried Sloppy Joe for the first time. Criminally terrible, really. Sleep-inducing, certainly. That little inhalation of breath.
I can't argue with it, but I'm now curious on like what the flavor profile of the version you had was, because that dish can vary wildly.
I'm sure. Like, the thing is that the only Sloppy Joes I've had were like lunch ones. You know, like ones
Like
made in school lunches.
like at school?
So
Yeah.
like I know there are probably versions of it that are way better, but it was so fucking terrible that I'm haunted to it by this day, and I don't even want to give any others a shot.
No, and I wouldn't say that it's like, wow, you're really missing out. No, it's like a really poor man's dish. Like, you take ground beef, and if I remember right, the sauce version that my mom put together was basically just ketchup, mustard, and I think like one more thing. I think like maybe Worcestershire was in it. I'm not really sure. But it's something that you just throw together because you don't have other things. Or you can buy manwich sauce, which is basically just what I said.
Haunted.
I don't really like eating it just because it gets everywhere, literally.
Yeah. Ready for the next cycle. You had a dream of Londa falling off an island and disappearing into the endless sky below. You didn't much understand how or why, but you did hear a loud commotion going on just out of view.
It's everyone on Tumblr. It's cheering.
Alright, let's do this. Oh! What the? How did my Zala... Okay, wait, I think this might be... where we
Is
need
that a glitch?
I don't think so.
It said check out where the gunshot came from, and
Yeah.
then suddenly...
Yeah. You know what? Let's do a quick save here.
Yeah! We're gonna die again. We're gonna find a new death. Not even our death run.
I think that's just supposed to be because, you know, it showed that, hey...
We have premonitory shit.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Hey, they're crawling through our windows again! Get out of that room!
Your feet start listening to Axe before you had time to think. Persistent bastards. You decided to speculate on your Zala's odd foresight either. Nothing like imminent danger to make such curiosities trivial.
With me!
You started walking side by side with Axe as the two of you hurried down the hall littered with Zuna's guard on high alert.
Damn, what's with these guys anyway? How are you gonna attack the same castle twice? Don't they know it's a death trap?
Noxia entered the hall and rushed to greet the two of you.
Oh good, I was afraid you might have still been asleep.
Nah, she was awake by the time I got to her room.
I'm glad. Now, regarding the intruders.
I was just saying how they must like dying.
For a righteous cause, or so I assume. Still, to attack a castle with so many high-profile matriarchs, greys, and a general, I don't understand how a group of people could be so, well...
Dumb?
It's so well armed. Guns are native to the human canvas.
Be smart somewhere out.
A bullet aimed for the back of her head stopped her sentence cold. Her Zala kept the projectile from penetrating her head, but whatever spell was amplifying its potency caused Axay to jolt her head forward, as if someone had just whacked her from behind.
Those fatherfuckers!
Zala level 6. I can't remember what we were the first time we went through.
I have no idea. I think we were really low.
The three of you split up, with Axay going to the left, you to the right, and Noxia taking the middle after she conjured walls comprised of her Zala for each of you. The guards that were littered in the hallway before had vanished, and the three of you were alone with your intruders.
What the hell? Where did all the reinforcements go?
We should concern ourselves with that later. I'm afraid I'm not much use offensively, but if either of you weaken one enough, I'll be able to take her down.
Wait, you're willing to kill people so quickly, stay quiet, and prepare a magical orb, but murder isn't the answer. Stay quiet and prepare a magical orb?
Mm-hmm. Is that Yaxa stone?
Should we keep firing?
Fuck that shit, I'm out!
True to her word, the woman fled the scene, leaving the other two to fend for themselves. The remaining women took aim at Yaxa and fired their guns once more. Only now they were summoning daggers as well. The bullets seemed to disintegrate before they even left their barrels, and the woman right of Yaxa was the first to leave her cover and attempt to stab their opponent. Unlike the time Velvet only chipped Zaname's shield, Yaxa's protective veil wasn't conjured with prep time. It wasn't visible, and it didn't crack. The only thing that was destroyed was the blade that tried to connect to Yaxa's skin. Everyone heard Yaxa huff, seemingly in disappointment before.
Holy shit.
What the hell did she just do?
I think the fairer question is how.
Following the collapse of two corpses, the hall felt dead quiet. Noxia had her wasp dissipate into vapors, and Yaxa finally turned to face the three of you.
Sorry, I'm just recovering. What were those things? I've never seen such weapons before. Guns,
Guns! They're from the human canvas.
The bullets that emerge from them are typically meant to chip down one's more magical defenses, enough for their blades to finish the job. Ah! So humans follow similar rules to us after all. The larger the weapon, the more Zala it can hold. Mana in their case, but yes, essentially the same. Well, I'm sure guns are useful for some people. Those... just not those two poor bastards. Hmm?
Hi, it's nice to finally meet you. Loved what you've done for Zal.
It was just my job. I wouldn't praise it too much. Liberating Govajak was no mere job. And that was no mere spell you used on our intruders. What did you do?
New guards rush from behind you to clean up and discern what happened to the previous sentries.
It was barely a spell. Just released a fraction of my Zala with some pressurized air. It's the quickest way to end a fight with the inexperienced.
Ah, fun.
She fucking fried them!
Call me a fan, stay silent. Man, I could probably take you in a fight.
Oh, and this is how we die. I would stay silent. I
Yeah.
know that. Yeah. All that was just from adding your Zala to the air. That's tense.
Right? Before I forget, my name's Axay.
Noxia.
Ijana.
Yexastone the Grey. Now, where's the dining room? I avoided the airship food, so.
Axay and Noxia led Yexa to the dining room, allowing you to collect your thoughts. You overheard Noxia trying to sneak in some questions before they left earshot. Just as you are about to leave,
Time now, really.
you turned around and saw Clanice.
For a dozen intruders this time. What an Illahus do they have to gain from throwing their lives away?
Is everyone alright? The revolutionaries, you can't put it past them. Everyone alright?
Ask if we're okay, yeah.
Oh yes, prentices, greys, and matriarchs were the only targets again. They stood no chance against us.
No, what are...
Okay.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we'd best be on our guard. Not all of us can fight these hooded foes in our sleep.
That vaguely sounds like Lady Vicia once again instinctively killed someone while unconscious.
I hear she just about did. How
Oh.
swift the young forget. How utterly dreadful a life our betters lived.
No joke. I've never seen Lady Vicia in action, but she must be something else. Just kill someone without even being awake.
Consider it an ordinary part of life at that. Soldier's life through and through. Reminds me of my mother in a way. Well then, later, I have business to attend to, and a little death shouldn't get in the way of that.
Everyone in the castle is so weird.
Yeah, man. Sure is.
Unrelated. Maybe I'll grab breakfast then, sleep the rest of the day away.
Oh, hey.
Everyone inside the
Women
dining
council.
room seemed too distracted to notice you walk in.
Yeah, like, I don't know what she expected. I got my feather for a reason.
Kara probably forgot that the military doesn't hand out the symbol to just anyone.
Well, she remembers now.
Seems like an unnecessary use of energy to me.
Says the woman who watches over two brats. What the hell is that about, anyways?
Favorite in Nana Yaga.
That fucking name again.
You took a seat somewhat away from the former soldiers, but not so far away that you couldn't hear them.
To be reminded of her.
Hmm?
I've been meaning to ask you, did she ever explain where such a name came from?
Nope. Trust me, I've been asking her for as long as memory serves. My first words were probably, the fuck kind of name is Nana Yaga? You both do come from a far-off island. I see nothing odd about it.
Though it is a bit strange that she would refrain from telling her own fledgling the origins of her name.
You've met her at least once before, right? You know she likes being a bit of an asshole when it comes to answering anything. She told me nothing of her request either. So she asked you to watch over 2 zoo kids, and she didn't even give you a reason? Classic Nana Yaga. Leave it to a seer, right? Stay quiet, because we also know that.
Yeah.
And also it would be really awkward to interject right now.
We actually have some people in this very castle who would benefit meeting a past seer.
Probably. But would they really benefit from meeting Nana Yaga? If anyone wants to meet the woman, they'll have to wait. Nana Yaga is visiting Unovon. And who knows when she'll be done doing whatever weird thing she's cooking up. I heard a bastard's voice poison in the air. Yexa. Yakusada? You're here in the castle? Why, though? I heard Zal's greatest thane threatened to arrive at Zanoska. Huh, sounds serious. Please come sit at the table and tell us Grace all about it. And brief us old soldiers how you trained those young politicians. My training has nothing to do with this conversation. Sure it does. Stains are useless, more eyesore than anything else. Yet I had to walk in and save your students from nobodies. Now I can't blame them for having to take the defensive, not with a teacher like you for reference. Piss off. Wasted over 20 of their minor cycles doing the same damn thing you've always done. I could exceed your results in less than a quarter of the time. 5 minor cycles, and anyone who trained under me will be able to make you sweat. Drunk off your own hype. Fine, want to make that a wager? Sure. What do you get if I lose? Off. You get off this island and fuck off to your miserable, isolated home. Sure. You seen anyone yet? She's of no interest to you. Huh, I guess not. Then, if I win, you owe me 50 pieces of gold. That's a high toll for anyone to pay. I think it's perfectly proportionate to the pestiferous piss you let pour profusely out of that mouth of yours.
Yexa looked away from Yaxada and towards Nor and Vicia.
Nailed it. How long do you think she was waiting to say something like that?
Not long at all.
Well, Yaxada?
She turned back to Yaxada.
Do we have an agreement? I'll throw in a bonus and give you 100 gold if you win this wager as well. Specify how you intend to train those fragile creatures. A few hours a minor cycle. Each woman is allowed 5 training sessions over the next 10 minor cycles. No all-nighters, no torture, and no threatening their lives. That'd all be petulant anyways. Just being a decent instructor will suffice. Fine. If it's the quickest way to get you out of here, I'll gladly play your petty little game.
Seers, was it?
Yeah, I'll send Nana Yaga a letter and see if she'll drop by Zanaska for a bit to say hello.
Oh, there's a human technology called a phone. I think you'll find it quite revolutionary to how we go about our days in Zal.
Selfies are interesting. Nor is very popular on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Baba Yaga, I'm thinking, Marco. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get anything new, though. We'll see. Nope. Ooh.
Ah.
You find a book titled Null, Artistically Useless, and sit down to read. The name null has turned out to be a comically precise term for the element which is both ubiquitous and pointless. Null is an utterly distinct element which can be found everywhere in Zal. It does not bind with any other known elements, and it has no known byproducts from its decay. Even in those places where scientists have created an artificial Zala vacuum, null persists and can be measured. The fact that it cannot be removed from our existence seems to indicate that it is in some way necessary to our reality, but no amount of testing can figure out what that way is. Since it is impossible to remove the element entirely, scientists have instead attempted to artificially increase the concentration of null in various situations, to absolutely no effect. The presence of 1 atmospheric count of null is functionally the same as the presence of 200 atmospheric counts of null to all known flora and fauna. In the face of such apparent worthlessness, many scientists have thrown up their hands in despair and left the question to philosophers. The book
Amazing.
continues talking about the possible abstract and metaphorical reason for null's existence.
Oh, hey, Velvet and Marixa, finally. We haven't seen either of you in like 10,000 fucking years.
You arrived at the entrance to the castle and saw Velvet and Marix in the middle of a conversation. How strange that our attackers have avoided you.
It's odd for me, too. I know one of the women in Nojik told the other that I was on their side, but hell if that ever made sense to me.
Different sides, same goals, probably. It's the one thing that ties the missing children to this errant group of revolutionaries.
I get that, but there's nothing to gain by attacking the residents of the castle. Ah, there you are.
Library stuff was written by Shaldreth, co-founder of PT. Oh, very good to know.
Hey.
Always nice to get a little bit of world building. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You turned around to face Joy. You ever make noise when you walk?
Afraid not. Just thought I'd give the reminder that in the mornings I'll be teaching humans all about Zal while they're touring here these next few minor cycles. If you ever have the free time, come to the university. You'll learn something yourself. I'm more interested in the fact that there's going to be humans there.
Starting the same time as Lady Yex's training, eh?
We live in a world full of little coincidences, it seems. Well then, later. He's so fucking pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only people who could want... the only people they could want dead would be the general and the matriarchs, right?
The timing feels off, though. Why now? And what do they gain by killing someone here?
Now we're starting to sound like Noxia. But I can't tease. She's really cute when she gets into it.
She is. I'm more impressed by her willingness to fight. Did you hear how she killed a woman that snuck into our bedroom with a dagger? Once Clinice stepped into the room, everyone began talking about potential reasons people would attack such a dangerous castle. No one had a clear answer. You soon left for bed. Tutorial: starting the next minor cycle, you can spend time training with Shexa Stone the Great or attending Dr. Joy's lectures. Jeez, just when things were starting to feel routine, here comes, well, everything. Your mind replayed Yexa's casual destruction of the castle's intruders, each time more exaggerated than the last. Here's to nothing weird happening today. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Uh,
Everything okay?
yeah, I'm just wondering if we want to try and focus on getting stronger
Well,
mm, or
should we ask for a recommendation?
yeah.
Since we
Would this in any way affect our way getting to the true end? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
Let
like,
me
you
grab a
know,
drink
or what
real
else it might open up to us. True ending is already cemented, so now everything is just fun flavor text, relatively speaking. Okay.
quick. Oh,
Well, in
okay.
that case, then, I guess going to Joy, that way we could get more world building stuff.
Oh yeah, defo. I'm interested if we're gonna run into any humans.
I do remember, I do remember one scene, I think, from Joy's lectures. Let me see if that's the first one we'll get. I think it was from Joy's lectures. Zuna was
Oh, hey, Zuna.
standing at the front desk when you walked in, with Joy sitting next to her. There were a few students from the human canvas present. 2 common humans, Fresnel being one of them. Wait.
Oh, Fernell's a human.
Yeah, I was like, huh? One
Huh.
Acelian, identifiable by their unique-looking ears, and one individual who was so fabulous you could only assume they were Gaian. 3 Zulian women filed in and found seats after you.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Zuna Zavant. Many of you may know me or have heard of me. I'm here to extend a warm welcome to those from our neighboring canvas. This class will be taught by Dr. Clint Joy.
She eyed the entire class, and eyed them, and eyed them.
I will leave you all to it.
Zuna did indeed leave, just like that. Joy stood and moved to the desk in her place. You could tell he was holding back a fond smile. The 3 Zulian women muttered excitedly amongst themselves, but the rest of the class was perfectly quiet, as though a man teaching were a common everyday occurrence. Which you recalled, it was on Earth, and likely the other planets as well.
Greetings, everyone. I am Dr. Clint Joy, but you are welcome to call me either Clint or Joy. We've designed this course as something of a trial run for those of you who are newcomers to Zol. If this course does well, we plan to continue offering it, or even record it and offer it on Zol's new internet. These first days will be spent going over very basic differences between Zol and the various worlds of the human canvas, just to make sure everyone is on the same page. Then, as we have time, we'll dive into some more complicated topics. You're welcome to attend each day, or not, as you see fit. To begin, I wanted to address some of the key physical and physiological differences between Zulians and humans. First and foremost is the fact that humans are capable of lying, whereas we Zulians are not. And while I wish I could give you a solid scientific reason behind the difference, it comes down to this. We simply weren't made to lie.
Joy looked in your direction.
Lady Jenna, could I trouble you to tell me that the sky is currently blue?
You looked outside. It was clearly the late lilac of early morning. Sorry, but it's not blue.
Thank you. There are certain circumstances in which Zulians can speak what might seem to be untruths, however. For instance, when using sarcasm. For instance, Lady Jenna, I would like you to know that I am the King of Britain.
Shit? Right? And the sky is blue.
In this case, since we're not trying to get the person to believe our ludicrous statements, both of us can speak technical untruths. Any questions so far?
Whoa.
Jump scare! Human jump scare!
It's a human! Get it
Oh
away!
god!
Well, if you don't know, what if you don't know something's not true? Like if you believe what someone else tells you.
An excellent question. If a Zulian told something that they believe but cannot confirm, we generally will default to saying that specifically. I was told that, or I heard that. In order to avoid confusion, there are, however, certain rare cases where Zulians may truly believe things that are clearly false to the rest of us, through some Zala sickness or related affliction.
Huh.
So that's why the Midians keep getting tested.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the other Zulians are like, well, you're clearly sick. And they're like, well, we keep telling you we're not, but okay, test away. And these cases are rare, but...
Joy continued to lecture on the weird ways in which Zulians with Zala sicknesses could believe in fantasies or even outright lie. Afterwards, you returned to the castle while Joy was busy answering questions from the rest of the students.
Yeah, Yuxa seems to be the real deal. Mad powerful, but get this. I think I legitimately got better at the whole fighting thing. I see. I didn't think to visit her this cycle, but perhaps the next one could prove most helpful. She told me there was a bit of a wager going on, so if you take up her training, you have to consent to a sparring match with the Exata later on. Oh? What sparked such a thing?
Nothing good. There seems to be bad blood between the two women.
I can't imagine what for. It's not like Yuxa slept with Yuxata's wife or something.
I mean, maybe. Considering she was asking who she was with, I wouldn't be surprised.
It seems like she's in the habit of fucking other people's significant others. And she sounds like she's not into women. More speculation for the inhabitants of this castle. It all gets quite weary after a while.
I'll leave you two to it. I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat and head to bed.
Later.
You left the two to continue talking about all the odd little things that go on in the castle, opting to grab a loaf of cloud bread and calling it a cycle.
Wonder when Lady Zuna... Oops.
I wonder
Why
when...
did I start thinking that?
I wonder when Lady
I'm getting
Zuna
sleepy,
will
I guess.
decide who takes over. Hasn't it been long enough yet? You had wild dreams that made no sense and could not have been visions. The cloud bread was to blame. Alright, let's do this. Your phone buzzed,
again.
prompting you to read the notification.
Oh, she's so cute. Uh-huh.
Blep.
Literally. Thanks again for all you've done for me. However,
Oh, it was every other, they did say. Well, actually, let's still go. See if we can pick up anything new.
You find a book titled Common Native Flora of the Five Regions of Zal and sit down to read. It seems to be just a list of common plants, where they can be found or grown, and their uses. Windflower, common annual flowering epiphyte, found at island level in warm and hot climates. Under ideal conditions, it generally blooms from early to midsummer, producing a sweet scent. Grace feather grass, common perennial grass found in cooler climates. These grasses grow 1.5 to 3 meters tall with large green plumes that become iridescent in late winter.
Sounds pretty.
Mm-hmm. False starfloss, common annual flowering plant which thrives in cooler climates. These low-maintenance ground cover plants are often used in gardens.
Mm.
Azure bells, rare crystalline annual flowering plant which grows in low-altitude valleys in northern Zal. This living crystal is highly prized and requires careful cultivations. Mepis, rare and sentient perennial houseplants which originated in eastern Zal. They can remember and replicate short words, phrases, and sounds for up to 3 hours.
Hmm.
They are known for being needy but affectionate and appreciative. They can be taught to play dead and imitate non-sentience. There are pictures of a few meepy subspecies, and you immediately recognize one of them as the plant on Zuna's office desk. Oh my gosh. Meepies.
Ah, damn it. Right. To bed I go. You didn't remember any dreams. I swear, that lobby is cursed.
Yeah.
While you were thinking about XA, you felt your old neighbor, Sleep, and its cousin, Dreams, come knocking. A short nap couldn't hurt, right?
You fake yawning right now. It's
Right.
killing me.
It was half fake.
Uh,
Like, I started it to be fake, but then it became real.
uh.
After answering your own question, you quickly drifted off.
Axay.
Oops.
Mom, you shouldn't be wasting your time with me. Come back when I'm feeling a little better, yeah?
You know I won't. Like I know that what you're going through isn't a choice. How useless I am.
You can't go feeling that way, too. If one of us can keep our chin up when it gets bad like this, that'd help bunches.
Help. Hope you speak of reminds me of those who could only speak in hope. Back in Govajak.
Then you mean of hope? Or at least I think so.
No, what we experienced there was nothing to do with benign. Or so benign. They say we Zulians cannot lie, but in Govajak, if truly felt that such a universal fact was simply not true. Not there. We fought for those women's freedom day after day, Crimson Fog being all we could show for our efforts. Going up against so many Goliaths, Vogers, Draggies, no sign of their summoner. Citizens could do was say that we would win. We had to win, after all, because if we didn't, soldiers of Corel would have sacked that island and been well on their way to forging Zal into a dark imperial age. So that's all the civilians kept saying, that we would win. Hell, some of the soldiers started repeating the same damn mantra. Never bought into the sweet lie, not when I had to run across pools of blood and breathe in air occupied by floating Zala that once belonged to a sister in arms. People of all kinds were allowed to say the impossible. They believed it. That wasn't me. I'd never buy into such beautiful lies. Even if you believe beating you over the head with positivity will help, I will always think about what I need to do to actually change things.
Directly fight your battle right alongside you. That is what I want to do. Yet, I can't. Because when it comes to battles within, I'm useless. If I can't help my daughter when she's standing right there in front of me, what good am I? Aw.
Sorry.
Aw.
I don't know how to help you. Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Remembering the dream you had, you woke up feeling more listless than usual. Resuming work felt empty.
Here you are. Guess who has a new story idea? Okay. So, what if we say that there's this school of magic out there that teaches children how to use magic?
Doesn't Basic already cover that?
No. I mean, like doing actual magic spells that turn people into frogs, or make small objects combust at will, or make dolls dance around, or, ooh, dodge, that would be creepy. Anyway, this would be like a certain group of people who have their own separate spaces from the ordinary zuggles that go about their daily business totally unaware.
Yeah, it really was.
Very funny, though. The movie would follow the adventures of a young woman who gets thrust into this incredible world, making friends like she would in normal schools. With all the usual teenage angst and drama, because the audience needs a little pandering. But they'd be surrounded by stuff like moving staircases, talking paintings, and flying around on broomsticks.
You started to think that the story was sounding a bit familiar.
But there's trans kids in it, so it's totally not the same story.
Oh, way better then.
Yeah, but that's not all. There's like this bad lady who nearly got killed by the main character when she was just a baby, and the bad lady is trying to resurrect herself. You think it's because one of the teachers who seems like a mean bastard? But in fact, she was trying to protect the main character from the real person who was working for the bad lady.
Now you were definitely thinking this story sounded familiar. Lenixa, isn't this just a plotline of the Earthling books about...
Harriet Potter. That'll be the title. Well, part of the title, because it could be a movie series, Harriet Potter and the Order of Zizrages, or Harriet Potter and the Half-Blood Princess, or...
You begin to tune the rest of Lenix's rambles out at this point.
I'm here for her to bootleg it. Fuck it. It's impressive, really, that Gray sure knows how to teach, despite her claiming the contrary. I must agree. I feel like I truly learned something about my fighting capabilities without the countless wounds. When did you train with Lady Yexa? Last minor cycle, she picked up on my unusual levels of Zala immediately, and more impressively, my preference to keep my foes breathing. She was quite efficient at teaching ways to disarm foes. I see. Most impressive. Rays are incredible.
A bit terrifying that she, Lady Vissia, and Lady Nor were all on the same team during wartime.
Yes, it's little wonder the North had never lost a major war. I consider it quite fortunate that we have no reason to fight the three of them in any serious capacity. You would be super fucking dead. Which one do you suppose would be easiest to win against?
I've thought about this, actually. Okay, so all three of them are legends, right? But they're all legendary for different reasons.
Listen.
Yeah, absolutely listen to your girlfriend's hyperfocus. Come on.
Lady Vissia is reportedly fast and strong, but probably needs to know her environment since she can't see. There's a good chance she can't take a punch like Yexa can either. And speaking of Yexa, she can dish out devastating damage and take even more, with the scars to prove it. Her main flaw is that she's not that fast. Velvet is actually faster than her. I think Lady Nor is about the same speed as Lady Yexa, now that I think about it.
How do you...
There's a good chance Lady Nor is probably the easiest soldier to beat.
You're not wrong.
Nora had walked from behind you and took a seat at the table.
I hope you weren't expecting me to comment on the matter further.
Everyone scattered!
10.
And
10 out of 10.
decided that staying quiet through dinner was a perfectly valid call.
That's hilarious.
Okay, but no, really, who would win?
Me.
Oh. John says, I don't think it's
Oh.
stated in the game, but Yaksara is not a great or anything notable because she was dishonorably discharged. In my memory. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
You knew going into slumber your dreams were going to be about the Greys and matriarchs all fighting each other, with different women winning every time the dreams shifted. Some of those dreams were really fun to experience, though. Your phone buzzed, prompting you to read the notification. Aww!
God, she's adorable. What the hell? Good morning.
Secret playful side.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Reason: abusive, bullying tendencies that edged on too dangerous too often.
Interesting.
On Abnormal Weather Patterns in the Fuckery of Dodge, a thesis by Loxane Zevery. It looks like an original copy. Never let anyone tell you Dodge is aloof or humorless. The deity may seem staid to some, but his lack of interference in Zulian affairs is the philosophy of an interested onlooker rather than an impassive arbitrator. Many speculative works have been written about Dai's personal philosophies based on his recorded exchanges with ancient Zal, and the much more limited information offered up by his ladies when they deigned to descend from Iligus. Through careful examination of myriad meteorological sources spanning multiple regions, I have been able to determine one additional fact about Zal's resident deity. He has spent the last 500 years meticulously spelling his own name in a pattern of unnatural cloud cyclones.
Bless him.
Dodge is too silly for his own good. It is my intent to not only predict the next 10 cyclones using the established pattern, but to also dive into the philosophical reasoning behind a deity's manipulation of weather patterns for such a frivolous reason, drawing on such established sources as... The season continues, but something catches your eye. Right in the margin, next to the words, too silly for his own good, is penned a neat addendum. I approve
Holy
this
shit.
message, Dodge. Okay, Marco, thank you for
Marco.
coming, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your time zone.
Good night, Marco. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There can be no doubt. Your very existence confirms that this is Luzulian creator's signature. Lana had entered the lobby from the opposite direction. He didn't show any signs of hostility.
Yo.
I'm just leaving.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not fucking dealing with that. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Dinner was turkey pie filled with habit. The conversation was a fairly lengthy one about what Huron should import from Earth next. You never know when one of those long dinner conversations will break out. You remembered no dreams. All right, ready. Do we want to do the lecture or Axay, since we can probably do Axay some other time, since he's pretty limited?
Yeah.
What do you
Let's
think?
go to Joy.
Okay. There were a few students from the human canvas present.
A pleasure to see you all again. Today we'll be talking about the domains in Zal. To start, allow me to let you in on one of Zal's loudest secrets. Millions of Zulians don't know the name of their own domains. You're presently in Irio. However, there are 4 other domains that make up Zal: Claria, Zaros, Almascus, and Voros. Irio is considered north. We're known as the domain that assert ourselves through military might. Sometimes great fashion comes out of the domain. Fortunately, although we are the most powerful of the 5, we do not have jurisdiction over the others. We are ruled by the 4 generals, and matriarchs micromanage their given islands. The rest of the sky is ruled by the chosen 5. I could not for the life of me tell you who they are or who elected them. However, they call the shots everywhere else. Claria is east and has its fair share of scholars and mages, and most importantly, they've come a long way in mitigating the damage done by hurtful stereotypes. Okay. Some in Zal, particularly of the older generation, are not fond of Zulians with lighter brown complexions. A dying tragedy, but one all the same. Zaros would be the south, a place that runs entirely on fortitude and spite. They're known for being brash, but open. Most stay in the south because they want to fix what their ancestors did to their domain, and also to continue the southern cultural tradition of disowning Daj. Okay.
Valid.
Talmascus is the centermost part of the sky, not even large enough to be considered a large city here in the north, but they are known for one thing: their religion. They believe a goddess created Zal, and Daj is either an imposter or covering for her while she does something important.
Getting her nails did.
Getting her nails did. Needless to say, billions of Zulians think Midians are a touch mad, but their fashion sense is quite remarkable, so they're tolerated. Finally, Laura, so where flamboyancy and freedom in almost all things runs endearingly rampant. Another open secret for you: it's believed Zulian men from all domains seek shelter in Voros, and no one can do anything about it. The people running that Voros' military and laws set it up to where they don't need imports, exports, or protection from outside forces. Most amusing is how other domains can't make Voros return men, and as you may have surmised, that part of the sky isn't trying terribly hard to send them home. Go there if you want to celebrate literally anything. The worst part of that country is its constant state of celebrating something as loudly as possible. Think of these 5 domains as 5 different countries, albeit a bit bigger. Alright, so a lot bigger.
The lecture went on about the specifics of each domain.
His lectures are very tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm. It's nothing short of admirable how well Lady Yexa adapts to our fighting styles and personalities. Dare I say, it was actually a little fun learning about my own potential as a mage.
Actually thinking of going back for more training myself. If I'm going to have to punch out some politicians, I want to make sure it feels like one of Lady Yexa's.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot that her way of fighting is actually similar to yours. Punching everything.
Yeah, but hers is a bit more varied. Noxia told me Lady Yexa actually destroyed a woman just by breathing. Breathing.
I heard. It must have been incredible to witness. She looked your way. Definitely not something I can do.
Don't worry, I doubt anyone else in this castle could pull that off.
I'm right there with you on not being able to just kill someone just by breathing.
I just hope she's the power ceiling.
What is that? Does that mean what it sounds like it means?
I think so. If she's the most powerful a Zulian could ever get, that'd be a bit of a relief. I can't imagine a stronger woman.
And neither can Zhao, it seems. She frequents those
Strongest Women magazines yearly.
Oh? Why do you know that?
I once had a weird case that involved a lot of magazines. A lot. Uh,
Uh?
care to elaborate?
Yeah, that sounds very interesting.
Your dinner was porro and soup, an interesting blend of human and Zulian cuisine. The other apprentices seem to be getting a lot of that training of Lady Yexa. I wonder if taking on Yexada is really possible just from spending a cycle or two with Yexa. You had a dream that pillows could talk to you and demanded to know why they had to have heads lay on them.
Comfy.
Literally what?
To the office, away. Huh. Back to reading. You're a nerd.
Yep.
Oh, good. You pick up a book titled The Care and Raising of Ploofs and sit down to read.
I don't know why. There's
Hmm.
been nothing in this game that has like suggested this. But whenever they talk about ploofs, I just imagine like the gremlins from the movies and think they're gonna turn into some horrific creatures.
See, all I'm imagining is well, you've seen Tribbles by now, right? Like in Star Trek.
Oh, yes. I think
Okay,
so.
so I'm the round ball furry balls in the one episode. Um, so I imagine those, but like with 4 little legs, otherwise feet, just like little tiny legs. It's really dumb. You continue reading for a few hours. No ploof lore.
No ploof lore! No!
Where's my ploof lore? No!
I want to see a ploof!
I want to see a ploof.
Upon hearing Zuna and Zula speaking to one another, you stayed just out of sight by the entrance.
I intend to choose my successor sooner than later. Yes, around 10 minor cycles, provided nothing delays my decision. There's no ploof lore. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Give
Also,
us
a
ploof
little
lore.
looks like there's a little typo here. It says Zula.
Yeah, that's Zula. Yeah. Sure. Why haven't you told any of your apprentices? Seeing how they fare with uncertainty is part of the process. I see, I see. I hope you choose well. I will.
You made your presence known and picked out Loryu, a type of bird from the eastern skies that is known for cooking quick and easy. One of the cooks had it made for you, and after you finished, you decide to head to bed. Since she's finally close to choosing someone, for some reason I thought I had more time. More dreams you didn't remember. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
There were a few students from the other canvas, the sharp ears telling you that some were Asilian humans.
Greetings, everyone. Let's get right into it, shall we? Today's topic is social Zulian hierarchies. For those who don't know, the law enable and encourages women of higher stations to essentially bully those underneath them.
Bully is putting it lightly.
Gently, even. If you are on the losing end of an unequal confrontation, you could find yourself trapped playing at the whims of the woman in question.
Ah! All right, one sec. I need to put this on screen.
Pardon?
I was sent certain images.
Ploof images! Ploof images!
All right, let me.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. So fucking excited, dude. See them. Woo!
Waiting with bated breath for them to show up.
Oh, okay. And last one to see.
Want to see the ploofs? Show me the ploofs.
Here's one of them.
Waiting. Come on, YouTube, hurry up. Show me the ploofs. Maybe you should just send them direct so I can cry. Oh my god, look at them! What the fuck? Oh my god! I didn't expect it to be a kudu!
Oh yeah, I'm
Especially
definitely
since
gonna have to show this to her.
Yes. It's a fucking kudu right there.
That baby.
Isn't it this one?
Oh shit. Whom's the fuck is that in there? Summoning a ploof for all to see. Honestly, it looks like Londa a little bit. I haven't seen Londa in a little bit, so my brain's like, I know that's not them.
Where'd the left?
It ran away in your computer.
Okay. There we go.
Edie! It's Ixiri. It's slightly outdated. Okay.
Look at all curled up, so cute.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting, so excited. Bruh. Oh my god, look at it! No! It's a baby!
Just want to cuddle it so
The fuck?
bad.
And you'd have those as the My Little Pony guys. Oh my god. That reminds
Thank you
me,
so
actually,
much for sharing.
Yes, thank you. When I was thinking about what they would look like, I remembered like abruptly the MLP fandom had a fan pony that was quite notorious who was named Flufflepuff, and it was a big it was one of the unicorns, but she was literally like round because she was a fluffy pink pony.
I think I saw. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
She
saw
was
images
popular
of
enough
it.
that people made plushies of her and stuff. So like,
Aww.
yeah, she was a cute pony. All right. I read that one. Take, for example, if you did not want to allow a woman entrance into your house, if she happened to be a noble and you a commoner, that noble has a few options. One, move on, which is fortunately more common than most think. 2, threaten, or the most extreme option, retaliate. Most rather stop at the second stage, but depending on context, a noble or a politician might use this as an opportunity to punish you. Say you had a male lover, you could be legally obligated to sell him if the bid matched his value.
Yikes! Yeah.
Bro,
Ah!
fuck this place. Fuck this place, actually. And, if she's resourceful enough, she could tempt you to violence, or killing you in defense would sway in her favor in court. Now, if someone tried that with one of similar station, the law would side with the one who was incited. Needless to say, it can get pretty bleak. For that reason, women are always trying to climb their way up the social ladder, often marketing their best assets, oftentimes meaning the men they own. On men, we are not afforded such dangerous games. If we are not signed to a woman, literally any female Zulian could buy us for nearly nothing once they find out. And because we are socially considered inferior to women, there is too many things we cannot do or heavily discouraged from doing. My license was only possible because Zuna twisted the right arms using her spot in the hierarchy. In fact, I wasn't even allowed to be trained in my craft. Boys are trained for catering and pleasing in basic, while every other gender is trained to read, write, basic arithmetic, history, science, and how to approach daily life away from parents.
He soon went on to explain how Zulians tend to learn a craft around age 17.
Ah, there they are!
Wait, so Naja Ruby writes fairy tales as well? Yep, sure it does. You might enjoy They Came from the East. That sounds vaguely more ominous than her romance novels. Is it horror? Nah. Well, I mean, it's not the main genre.
Plus, you don't adopt them, they adopt you. Like, they literally adopt you as their human/Zulian. Here's the actual little bio for them in the mini lore document. Aww.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that makes them even better.
The best.
When she writes her fairy tales, she tends to have the horror foreshadowed very carefully, then wham! Last third or so of the book, the series is nightmare fuel. It makes rereading them really frightening. Like, whoa, how'd I miss that warning sign? But you're so invested in the whimsical world that you sort of ignore those elements on first read.
Extremely small and fluffy animal that thrive on love and affection. They have rounded ears, an expressive face, and the fur looks like mini clouds. Loose will absolutely refuse to harm Zulians/humans unless it's absolutely necessary, and they vastly prefer to find inventive ways to make their owners happy. One thing all Zulians across the world joke about is how you don't adopt Plus.
They adopt you. I'm assuming is the rest of that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, did he get timed out actually for
Aw,
sending a lot of messages?
no! I mean, I'm not
That's
seeing
what I'm
anything
wondering.
pop up in the...
I'm not seeing anything either, but I don't think I'm a mod in your chat. YouTube, no! Don't do it!
YouTube, don't be a dingus! Let Jonathan speak! Maybe can I... God damn it.
It's fine. We'll find out if it actually did that or not. Hey, there it is. Thanks, character limit. Okay, so Jonathan was not banished to the void.
Good.
I guess. If the Lawrence story is fantastic up to that point, I could give it a read. The horror is merely psychological or other such matters, correct? Nah, we're talking Yaji terrors. No, I want nothing to do with that book then. Apologies. I have a near phobia of all things Yaji. Visuals and descriptions of them and what they're capable of just about paralyzes me every time. Ah, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Not a thing most would be aware of. After all, what reason does a zoo foe have to fear a fictional monster?
She had a civil conversation. Guys.
That's so fucked up. Also, but Axe is like the perfect person to have that type of convo.
True, yep.
Axe is such a good.
Sensing the conversation was about to die out, you decided to head to the dining room for some salad. Damn, I keep hearing about what a dashing woman that one is. When do we get to meet her?
I don't remember. Was I Proxus or you?
I think I was, but you take
Yeah,
him,
let's shift it
otherwise
around
I'd be
again.
like 3 of these.
Oh yeah, that's right. Artemis is there. I hear the same, depending on who you ask, but even without meeting her, Culliver's mood sours thinking about her. For that reason alone, how long do you suppose Lady Yuxa will be staying around?
I imagine not long at all. She will likely leave when her daughter does. The real mystery here is, are the stories about her treatment of men true?
Unfortunately!
Joyce said she seemed alright when he met her. Yes, if only first impressions always sang true.
Oh god. It's our duty as men to accommodate her whims, all the same. Thinking about them before anything happens will do no good.
That again? How do you manage to have that many leashes around your neck, Zobi boy? You continued to listen in on their conversation as you ate light salad, Zulian bread baked with plenty of seasoning mixed with greens from Earth. You ended up yawning sooner than usual and made your way into the bedroom to get some sleep. It's real easy to get used to this lifestyle. Bet it won't last too much longer, though. No dreams came to you that night. Onwards we go. Nope. No dragoons either. Let me see, actually. Maybe we can... Let's see if there's anything we can do in the castle library.
Mm-hmm.
Non-fiction. You end up in the section of textbooks for early basic education again. You grab basic 1 through 3, the natural world to skim through. The source of light and life in our world is the Valius, commonly called the star, floating above Eligus. The Valius's light cycles are regular and predictable down to the microsecond. Except for certain holidays, every Zulian day is divided into 4 distinct phases: dawn, light, dusk, and night. Dawn is the 6-hour period of time when Valius slowly brightens from its sleeping state to full brightness. Dawn is considered the beginning of each day. The next 84 hours of day are light.
Oi!
Although the color of the sky might change depending on the weather, the Valius emits constant, steady Zala during this time. Dusk is the 6-hour period where the Valius slowly dims from its full brightness to sleep. This occurs at the end of the 4th minor cycle of every day. Nights last for the next 72 hours of the day. 72-hour naps!
Yeah, that's... I've done that before. Wouldn't recommend it. Oh boy.
Wait, how long was the longest you've ever slept?
Oh fuck, I don't know. It wasn't a proud moment. I was very ill, you see, but
Yeah.
it was I think that was when it was either when I had the worst food poisoning ever, or it was when I had COVID.
Ooh.
I think I slept for 4 days straight with COVID.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was I probably was like quote unquote alert at one point, but there was no memory tracked for it.
Mhm.
So like it was basically I woke up 4 days later like what the fuck, where am I?
Damn, 4
So,
days.
you know.
I've done 1 day. That was my most.
Yeah, it's not I have at the height of the unmedicated depression, I slept 2 days. Because it was just like, well, no use getting out of bed kind of vibes, so I would not recommend it. Your body really doesn't like it.
Yeah, no.
You kind of actually get achy.
Yeah, you get headaches and weird. And
Mm-hmm. Like your whole body just does not like that.
the time I did it was when I was a kid, and that was when I got like a temperature of like 40 degrees Celsius, 104 Fahrenheit.
Oh my god, your little baby brain was fucking boiling, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't
Holy
good.
shit.
Like that's
That's
just
bad.
about to get like critical. Like
Yeah.
when
It's really bad. You were about to be taken out at the fucking brain, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah, I joke that that's another reason why I have such a high tolerance for heat now, because it was like I survived that.
Oh god, that's fair. Like some of that shit really can like change your body, like and how it interacts with stuff though. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you're being boiled alive for long enough, you get a little bit of something something.
Night
Oh,
lasts for the next
God.
72 hours of the day. At night, the Valleys is almost invisible to the naked eye, and the only natural light comes from moons or glowing plant life. Even though the Valius has regular cycles all year, we still have seasons. Why do you think that is? Pause for guided discussion. The secondary stars, called V, and moons, called Lazri, that come from the Valius are what cause a lot of our seasonal variation. The 3 summer months have the most stars of the year. The Valius emits V every few days that makes the temperature hotter. Autumn has fewer stars, but often has the biggest moons of the year. Winter has the fewest secondary celestial bodies, sometimes even going days between each birth.
What? That's crazy.
Spring usually sees a few small V and many small moons, which is why moon viewing celebrations are common during that season.
So fucking cool. What the hell? Oh, hey. How is money getting involved in such an important case? Mother, please. If there are children involved, then we ought to deal with the financial consequences and bring every single suspect into court. That opens up too wide an opportunity for other women to exploit the government's willingness to essentially give them free money. And then we find out who's taken those kids and why. And if we don't, even if we were sorely tempted to do things your way, who would we suspect? Lady Vicia? Zuna? Her guard Liz? Would the individual even be in Zanaska? Worse yet, the rebels having someone behind the scenes calling all the shots is a theory at best. There's actually little reason for us to not assume that the women Velvet saw in Nojuk were the ringleaders. Those are just tiny, inconsequential little details that delay us moving forward. You're likely right, but unless we have reason to believe that the missing children are in danger, then I must proceed as if we have a little more time to sort this out all cleanly. You're a different general than I was, Zula. I wager we do not share the same enemies for that very reason.
The two left the dining room soon afterwards, allowing you to comfortably eat some pizza for dinner before heading to bed. I wonder if the mystery would have been solved by now if Lady Yexa was still an active general. You fell asleep, dreaming about possible culprits. At one point, you felt as though there was none.
Now, if there was one topic you all keep asking me to talk about, it's our creator, Dodge. So, let's get into it. He's here today.
Stop.
Literally, he would. In short, there's no real rules regarding what you can or should say to or about him. If that sounds hard to believe, there's a little example. Suna once punched Dodge.
I'm even more in love.
I'm gay. Holy shit. Zuna punched God. Holy shit, Zuna punched God. Now, typically, if you punch something that powerful, you'd break every single stream of Zala in your body, or the bones in your case. But from my perspective, he's very confident in his place as creator. Enough so that he made sure her punch did her no harm. He also didn't say or do anything to her. Not that she cared, she was very much annoyed by him at the point in her life, but that's just the start. He gave Zulian Zal, and thus all the tools needed for us to grow on our own. He's largely hands-off, only making himself known in rare instances. He came to my graduation party.
Aw.
That would be really cute.
Mhm.
I'm sure he can hear anyone that wishes to communicate with him in any way they wish to, but don't expect him to respond.
He's
There's
just
a lot of
wearing one of
people on
those
red.
really super tight party hats and like blowing a popper.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm so proud of you, Joy. You did it. This trait of his has given our species wildly different views on him, including the Midians simply believing he is not our creator. It's kind of like having Loki as your god.
Oh. Oh,
Like,
don't be mean to
singularly.
Dad.
No, I mean like the Loki of mythology, not the Loki of the Marvel films.
I don't even
Who's just kind
watch that crap.
So
I just mean that Loki of mythology just gets into.
he does get into some shit. He did you know, kind of prompt Thor to have to pretend to be someone's bride in order to get back his hammer. Like, you know, he also had to get pregnant. I mean, I don't think that was part of the necessary thing. He kind of just got backed into a corner about that one.
He's had
But I
a
just
lot
mean
of
Dodge's silly little guy
even-
status, like, lives in that same kind of chaotic zone.
It's just like even Zeus would look at Loki and be like, "Damn, man, what the fuck? What?"
He'd be like, "Relax, dude." Meanwhile, Dionysus is like, "Hell fucking yeah!" Oh god. Anyway, I myself hope he keeps minding his own business if he isn't going to help Zal. But Zuna, as you might have guessed, probably wants him dead. Spite. There's no religion around him, nor is there a hard set of rules he has us follow. Now, why he made men so much weaker than women? That's the big mystery. It's an artistic decision that never really made sense to me. It's contradictory to how he made the rest of Zal, but I digress. But that is, well, the gist of the introduction to our creator. Any questions?
I really just want Dodge to like waltz through that curtain
I
in
do.
the back.
I just want him to yell from the other room, "I'm sorry, okay? It was a stupid decision at the time. I was going through things." Like, he's got no good reason for it, so he might as well.
The class spent a long, long time asking him random questions about the divine ruler of your world.
Yo, think we should have Zanamai stop spying on those rebels? It is unlike you to change your mind on something. I know, but those bastards are trying to kill folks now. Not even a castle with Zufos residing within is discouraging them. I doubt we have much to worry about with her. You really think? Always seemed the cautious one to me. Wouldn't stay as long as you would, that's for sure. Ha! So you're right. Thanks, Nor. I hardly said a thing.
And with that, I think we will go ahead and end the stream right here. What do you have got coming up, Moon?
Cars is probably streaming at some point this week, daily, as far as I'm aware. They generally start like somewhere around 10 a.m. CST. At latest, they start streaming at 1 p.m. CST. Nanathotep, though, has observation duty if
they are feeling good. And I will be there for that alongside several rats and succuleaf_VT.
What day?
That's Monday, yes. I forget what time. I think it's 6 or 7 p.m. my time, so 8 p.m. EST probably. And there's other things happening during that week, but suddenly I've gone blank.
Well, as for myself, tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST here on YouTube, it will be Raging Loop. Then Wednesday, 7 p.m. EST over on Nana's, Moon will be there as well with Resident
Yeah.
Evil 7, most likely.
That was the
Thursday,
thing that I was like thinking about.
Thursday on the server at 9 p.m. EST will be the Star Trek Watch Along. Friday at 6 p.m. EST on Twitch, it will be Final Fantasy V, and maybe afterwards at 8, some Tales of Fantasia. Saturday, we will be doing Anwurfs at 9 p.m. EST, and then Sunday at 8 p.m. EST, it will be more Women of Zal. And as a reminder, we are streaming this once again in order to celebrate that Women of Zal 2 is going to be up and running. There is a Kickstarter. It hasn't started yet, but the website is up. Let me go ahead and link that. So if you are enjoying the story, please do keep an eye on it. Please do support it however you are able to. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for the extra lore and images.
Yes. We love the ploofs.
With that, thank you all so much for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful time zone wherever you are, and as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Toodaloo-hoo!
Bye-bye!